Apologies, my misunderstanding. We'll be taking the next deputation request from the Portobello traders, as there is no item on the agenda relating to this request. The deputation wished to speak to the committee about the financial impact of the forthcoming works on Brighton Street on traders. The committee is asked to agree to hear the deputation.
Can that be agreed? Okay, I'll just say on this one as well that I suppose technically business support around the transport infrastructure would normally be the domain of Transport and Environment Committee, and that's happening with the tram. So I did say that we'd have a business bulletin update on this, but I think that also needs to go to Transport and Environment as well, if that can be agreed.
Convener, we have Jean Robertson and Lynette Kinnear on behalf of Portobello Traders.
So you'll have 10 minutes, then we'll try and stick to 10 minutes of questioning, although we didn't do that well last time.
I don't think it'll take 10 minutes. Well, thank you for hearing me at such short notice. First of all, I'm here to represent the Portobello Traders with regards to the works that are going to be carried out in Brighton Place. All the traders, I've got 75 signatures here today. Not one trader has been consulted with regards to the work that's been carried out. The road is to be closed for 60 weeks, we believe, as opposed to 20, which was originally agreed when it was to have the asphalt put down. Because of a paper published at a later date, there was a U-turn on that, and the sets, it was decided the sets were to be retained in Brighton Place. The economic impact on local businesses is horrendous. There has been no impact assessments carried out, but I do believe that's only carried out when there's major works being done. A 60-week closure to me is major work, and I'm appalled there has been no impact assessments carried out. Not one trader has been approached by councillors, by anybody involved with the project. As a result, the traders actually gate-crashed a meeting on Tuesday night that they found out about at the library, and that is the first we have been able to speak to anyone with regards to the closures. Because no impact assessments have been carried out, having a business in Portobello, I've done my own assessment, and my trade will drop by 42%. No business can sustain a drop like that. The work's been carried out is going to kill Portobello High Street at a time when other councils are trying to revive high streets and stop people going online or going to retail parks. We have a thriving high street in Portobello. It's a community, and a fantastic community. It's about to be demolished by Edinburgh Council and their works on Brighton Place. We will not listen to anyone. When we've tried to approach people with regards to the work, we just keep getting told the decision has been made, so basically put up and shut up. We won't go away until the first cobble is laid in Brighton Place or the council change their mind on the works that's to be carried out and the closure reduced. We have over 2,000 signatures from members of the community. At the moment, we're all displaying posters simply saying, don't let them close us down, sign the petition. We've got an online petition, we have over 2,000 signatures on it. We've now found out one of the bus routes that was originally diverted is now being diverted back onto the high street. I found that out last night on social media. That's what it's came to. Basically, if we need to find anything out, go into Facebook. I think that is absolutely appalling coming from any council for traders to be left in the dark. I believe there was an equalities impact assessment carried out. I found that out online last night. And apparently there will be no impact on the elderly or disabled, which is absolute rubbish because I have spoken to them personally. and they are worried. Most of the trade that comes into Portobello comes in through Brighton Place on buses. It is elderly people and disabled people. I just find the fact that there's been no engagement, and yet I see on BBC with the trams project, everything's been set up with the traders, everything's getting put into place now before. Why hasn't it happened in Portobello? It is absolutely beyond belief that the council can just do exactly whatever they want without any consultation to anyone. The impact on the community overall, an example of that is every year I do a Christmas street party for the children of Portobello. It's attended by between 500 and 1,000 children. Every year it normally does close tailbacks and bring the place to a standstill. It's funded by myself and other traders, and it's a thank you to the community every year for their support. That has been cancelled this year because of the financial impact on us. We don't know where we stand because we don't know what's going on. So we're now going to have to tell the parents and the kids this year that basically Christmas isn't going to happen in Portobello High Street. That's the kind of impact this work is having on the community of Portobello. And that's really all I've got to say today. But I am asking for help, and I'm asking for them to rethink what they're doing to the community.
Do you want to? June, will you turn your microphone off? Thank you, June. I'm going to go to questions, but before I do, I just have to be clear that the decision to lay the sets was made at Transport and Environment, and it was made within the last 6 months. So we, as a committee, have no power to change that decision. And really, the business support package, as I said before, should be dealt with through the Transport and Environment Committee. But I think, there's an economic perspective that is valid for our committee to look at. So if we can keep our questions focused not on changing that decision, but on the business support. I wanted to say that I'm really sorry that the traders feel that they haven't been consulted, because they should have been. I think that's something that we'll need to look at. Absolutely, we need to work with traders, and there has been a commitment about business support package, and that's something that I will follow up with you and with officers to make sure that we're consulting. And if there's anything that we can do to keep Christmas, then I think we should do that as well. Councillor Warwick.
Well, thanks, Convener, and thanks to the deputation. I represent the furthest away from Portobello in the Almond Ward, and we're going through a major consultation exercise because the High Street in Portobello in Queenfrey is going to be resurfaced. So I'm disappointed to hear about the lack of consultation. Was this a lack of consultation on the closures or the works or everything? Has there been, because, obviously I can't ask the officers a question, but maybe if you could sum up on that or what about that, because I'm disappointed to hear that.
The original decision was to lay the asphalt, and the traders kind of relaxed and thought, that's fine, that's the decision's made. Then there was a U-turn on that, and everything went quiet. No consultations, nothing. Everybody's sitting thinking, well, is it cobbles? Is it asphalt? But
Councillor Munro.
Right. Thanks very much for the deputation. And I cannot believe that Christmas is going to be cancelled in Portobello. I'm sure that message will have been heard and that something will be done about that. And I'm surprised that no outreach work has been done on this particular programme because, again, our experience in Leith Walk, you referred to the press release yesterday about the support package that we'll have for businesses both within my ward and Leith Walk. That was based on outreach work that was done by economic development officers in the first phase of TRAM. So it's actually building on the outreach work that was done there. And I would actually ask or you as a deputation to make a formal request to both the convener and the director of place to actually seek a meeting with that agenda in mind to see what form of support could be done to help the businesses within the Portobello area, because I think there's key points, not just the Christmas part that you're talking about, but there will be key parts of your retail calendar that you will need support for, given that the programme that's going to be put before you is longer than a year. So therefore, it might not just be one Christmas, but 2 Christmases. It could be spring, summer. So I think there is the ability to do that within the economic development portfolio. Would you take up that opportunity and would you welcome that dialogue, and would you accept any form of support that would enable you to maybe sustain that assault that's happening within your community?
I did read online last night, it was taken from a Facebook page by obviously people that are being kept in the know, that there is going to be something put into place, people consulting with their traders, but for goodness sake, we're 3 weeks from the work starting. I find that absolutely appalling that they're going to start the work. We also hear that the work's starting at the end of September, yet the works haven't been given to any particular company. I don't know how that actually works. I find that astounding that we don't know who's carrying the work out, but it's going ahead at the end of September. So it's all very bits and pieces of information, but we certainly would look forward to getting some kind of consultation for the businesses.
Councillor Lang.
Thank you very much for your deputation. Very simple question. What support, financial or non-financial, have the businesses been offered for the period in which the works are being undertaken?
The businesses have been offered absolutely nothing, because nobody has actually spoken to the businesses. Not one trader in Portobello has been spoken to with regards to the work that's been carried out.
Hello. I was at a meeting at the library just a couple of days ago, which the traders had not been invited to. And at that meeting, we were told we could apply for rates rebate. Majority of Portobello shops are small enough that we do get financial assistance in that. A lot of them don't pay rates. There are a few that do pay very high rates. They can apply. They were told on Tuesday. It may well be available to them. Too late. You know, the work's starting in 3 weeks. We have not had a chance to get our businesses sorted. So...
But just so I'm clear, your point, I think it's an important one, is that because of the nature of the businesses, as your point is that the rates reduction isn't particularly relevant for them anyway. So there's no, for the smaller businesses, actually, there's nothing on offer. Okay.
Absolutely nothing. We were going to get some placards put up going down Portobello going down Brighton Place. The people are already walking into Portobello, so it needs to be out with that. There has been no discussions on. I'm not a marketing person anyway, so we need advice. We haven't been given advice.
Councillor McClellan.
Thank you, Convener. Thank you very much for your presentation. I'm just looking at a notice from the Portobello Community Council, which is dated 26th of April, in which it says, it's important that businesses and residents are informed in advance of any work starting, of how the works will be carried out, and details of the traffic management, works phasing, closures and programme timescales. And therefore, we propose to carry out 2 letter drops. So my question to you is fairly straightforward. Were you contacted by the Community Council, and has the Community Council been able to facilitate any kind of information to businesses?
No, we weren't contacted by the Community Council.
Councillor Cameron.
Thank you, Convener. I can't find the words to describe how bitterly disappointed I am at the way you traders have been treated and not engaged at all. It's just not acceptable. It really isn't. And, you know, given the fact that, you know, you're a group of small businesses, despite the Community Council making those points, I suppose I've have you had any contact with your local elected members? I mean, what I'm going to say to you is this. The work should... I understand the points that the convener made around a council decision being made at Transport and Environment within the last 6 months. However, I would have expected, and I speak as a former economic development convener of 20 years ago, so times have changed. However, an economic impact should have been done to inform the decisions that were going to be made by the Transport and Environment Committee. And if that hasn't been done, and from what you say, it hasn't been done, because clearly it hasn't been commissioned, I just cannot begin to, as I say, describe my shock and disappointment that that hasn't been carried out by the City Council.
See, I was led to believe that legally there had to be impact assessments done and equality assessments done before. I've now been told, no, that's not the case unless it's major works. Now, 60 weeks closure on a road is major works to me, but I clearly live in a very simple world.
No, I think... Sorry, I don't mean to... and the other point you make about equalities absolutely is another... I mean, the Council considered and agreed to set up an equalities working group just to look at how we deal with equalities through our properties, our services, through things that happen on our behalf, you know, that if we're in procurement of companies to provide services. So I'm really, really shocked. And I don't know, at this point, I don't know what the best way forward, because what's being proposed, it's not enough and it's not sufficient, and it's, you know...
I have been working with residents in Clifton Mews, the retirement properties, and they have their own campaign going. They're absolutely wonderful people. The chairperson is 84 years old, and she has actually got on buses getting signatures from people. They've done a wonderful job. But they are so concerned that they can't get to one of the buses. The proposal was not going to be there anymore, is to Edinburgh Royal Infirmary, and that was their concern, because they do attend hospital appointments. I actually seen a response from a councillor which mocked the fact they were going to have to walk to a bus and suggested we find some pixies. Well, that's how bad it's got.
Just one last point for me. The meeting on Tuesday night, I understand the Director of Places explained to me that was organised by the localities manager in conjunction with Transport and the Community Council. And you received no invitation, or no?
Sorry. The meeting that was being held at the library on Tuesday, it was actually me that found out about this meeting. And I informed the other traders, and I said, do you know what, we're going to gate crash it, because I'm just not having it. As an afterthought, one of the Community Council contacted them and said, I suggest you invite these people. So there was 4 invitations. Mine was one. Unfortunately, I was in Belfast up until last night. There was 4 people invited to that meeting on Tuesday. But the rest of the traders just turned up anyway and made themselves welcome.
In response to that meeting, local councillors believed that traders had been invited, and when we found out that they hadn't, there was a flurry of emails from all of the local councillors trying to get traders invited, but the person who sent out the invites was away, and that's why it didn't happen until the last minute.
How long did you know the meeting? How far forward? When was the meeting organised? You know, I actually thought it was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Social media, you know, we get to know what happens to certain people instantly. A meeting can be 10 minutes before, shut shop, go to the meeting. There was nothing. It was word of mouth, and it was gate crashed. It was appalling.
Okay, I don't think we have any further questions. I've just spoken to Paul, and we would like to arrange a meeting with the traders. I think we'll probably invite other ward councillors as well, but we'll be in contact about that. I'm going to ask Paul to respond to some of those points.
Just briefly, convener, obviously happy to organise a meeting with ward councillors with relevant conveners and also relevant officers, you'll be aware that it's obviously been taken forward by the transport team. So officers like Cliff Hutt and Sean Gilchrist, I think Sean was there at the meeting the other night. There are a range of measures that have been discussed. The fact they've not been discussed with you directly is a matter of obviously deep concern for me. I'll take that back and discuss that with transport colleagues immediately, and we will have that kind of package ready for a meeting to discuss with you as early as we can.
Okay, thank you.